Manage moderate. Pretty sure this will get posted on my page, so if/when it does, this is my first live stream ever, so I may not have anybody show up, and I'm wondering if I can pull it down. Oh my gosh, hi! This is my very first YouTube live stream, so I have no idea if this is gonna go well or not, but hi everybody, oh my gosh! I'm sitting here in my bedroom with the wonkiest setup possible. So I was live over on TikTok, and I got my kiddos to bed, and I switched over here. Oh, thank you so much, Ashlyn. That's so sweet of you. I'm trying to get my last layer of my nails done. I have no idea where I'm going to put this container, but I got to get it done because otherwise these are totally... You miss my TikToks? Well, I'm still posting on TikTok. I think I'm gonna use this box, but only one flap is gonna stay down. Oh, you don't have it anymore. Oh, I'm so sorry. I admit I am horrible about posting my stories here on YouTube. I don't have an excuse other than it just takes so freaking long to take the videos from TikTok, get them without the little watermark that they put on there, and then I've got to put them into a different app, splice them together, re-add my watermark, put them on here. It's such a... I feel like it should be easier, but at the same time, I completely understand why these platforms don't make it easy on us. So it's a thing. It's a whole thing. Oh, okay. Well, a reading break, that sounds like you are reading for academics and not for pleasure. So I am happy to provide that break. God knows when I was doing my master's, the amount of reading that I had to do was obscene. Like, obscene. Because you had to reference all parts of everything. Anytime that you were like writing a paper or doing comparisons or doing discussion boards, and like if you didn't provide enough evidence of having read the material thoroughly, they would ding ya on it. Oh, okay. I gotcha. That's legit too. I'm just hoping that I'm not painting my fingers right now. This is like seriously the best nail stuff I've ever owned in my entire life. But I'm just always struggling with the top coat. I always touch my skin. And then I have to refile, which is really annoying. But how is everybody doing? I don't have like a set purpose for this live stream, but if you guys like have any questions for me, feel free to ask away. I feel like this could be a really fun Q&A session. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. I admit I have been not reading for pleasure much lately, but I'm trying to get back to more normal life activities like hanging out with friends and stuff like that. But then I'm realizing like how few friends actually want to do anything like hang out. So that's a thing. Oh man. Christian, I am sorry. That's rough. I feel like, homelessness is always brutal. But I feel like it is even more brutal now with how many laws they're putting in place in regards to homelessness. And that just, it's sickening to me. Your friends are mainly your cats. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's by choice. I am not a pet person. I'm an animal person, but not a pet person. I will go to other people's houses and I will play with their animals. Ooh, and I will pet them and get all of the pet snuggles. But then I get to leave them there. That is what I enjoy most. Okay, well, I'm glad that you still have your job. It still sucks to be homeless. But I mean, I'm glad you have employment. That is something. Give me a second. I'm gonna put this box on the ground. Oh, wait, I'm gonna put it right here. That made it easier. Because I'm just like flopping around on my bed now with wet nails. So I can't touch anything. Well, does anyone on here have any like questions for me? Anything you're wondering? I don't know. There's only 3 people in here, so there's not a whole lot to do, but any topics of conversation you guys are curious about? One of me and my husband's favorite things is to pick a topic and just go. And I would love to do that here. Ding dong it. Why won't this thing stay? Oh. It's so funny because black cats and orange cats are kind of my favorite. Like, I love orange cats because they're just so pretty. And then I love black cats because they scare people. Like, there are people that are so terrified of black cats. And I'm like, but they're so cute. I feel like I should get into a better light. See if I can turn around. Oh my goodness gracious. If anyone is ever wondering, Nectar is not the best mattress. It feels so amazing when you first get on it, but over time, Jesus. I'm like sinking. That's adorable. I love that. I've got a friend with a cat, that like I've never pet her cat because it's always like running away. Then I had a friend in high school who had a cat, and that cat would let you do just about anything to it. I think it was a boy cat. I honestly don't remember for sure. But like, usually like, it sounds terrible saying it out loud, but like you could just grab the cat by a foot and pull it over to you and then use it as a pillow. And it would just be like, okay, such a chill cat. I love the cuddly ones. Like, I love the pets that will like sit and snuggle and like let you pet them. But I don't like being licked. I think that's one of the big reasons that I don't want any pets of my own is that they all just want to. Took me a second. I was like, which lights were those? All of our lights are on timers. So I'm like, do I move or do I reset? But I think that's one of the biggest reasons that I don't want pets of my own is because I don't want to be licked. Ugh. I don't like the spit. I wonder if I could ever do like a Jackbox games on here sometime. I'm like looking at my settings off to the side. See, I would hate that. I would hate to have an animal licking my hair. I'm like looking at all the settings on here with this being my first time, and I'm like, I wonder if I could ever do Jackbox games, because I don't know if you guys have ever played Jackbox games before, but they're super fun. So I'm just like looking at all this stuff here. I might, what is this one? Oh, look at that. There's filters, hold on. Ooh. No. Maybe. Doles out the red. Yuck. I'm gonna stick with that one. It is fun. I love playing Jackbox games. I played Jackbox games with my sister last night, and her boyfriend. And it was just fun. You know, we just played a couple of games before bed. Pulls it out of your ponytail. Oh my God. I remember when I was 19. Oh my God, that's so long ago. When I was 19, I was a nanny for 2 kids who were 9 and 12 for the summer. And they had a cat who was obsessed with hair ties. And apparently this is not uncommon with cats, but it was my first experience. They would find hair ties in the craziest places in their house. And like when their girl was doing her hair in the bathroom, like if she would get out a hair tie and put it on the counter and then like start brushing her hair back, the cat would like hear her getting it out or setting it down. I don't know, but the cat would like run, like sprint and fly into the bathroom to snatch the hair tie and run off with it. So that was always fun. Yes, their cat would play fetch with them too. Yes, like you could get a hair tie and toss and it would like go get it and it would just trot right back to you. Like, don't get it. Your pop bottle tops. Ooh, I feel like that could be, well, literally any non-food item that an animal takes could be dangerous, but like, I don't know, like the rigid edges, I think I would be a little scared of that one. We have a little, it's not a device. My husband got a magnet, probably about the size of the palm of our hands. And it's just a circular magnet that he has placed on the wall, and then above it is a bottle opener. Like you just walk up to the wall and just stick your bottle in, it opens it for you, and the bottle cap falls and the magnet just latches onto it. I love it. Oh, okay. Here I'm thinking like glass Coke bottles and beer bottles. Plastic ones not so bad. Smooth edges at least. But yeah, we have our bottle open station. There's a can crusher installed next to it. Sorry, I'm looking at something over off to the side. I'm distracted. We couldn't put our trash can right below ours. It's off. It's like just off to the side, but it actually works really well because I'm Shorty McShort. So like the bottle opener is at good level for me. And so the trash can is just to the side. I grab the bottle cap, push the pedal on the trash can, and it just goes straight in. It's pretty cool. I'm not quite that short. I'm 5'6", but my husband is like 6'1". So like when he installs something that's at a comfortable level for him, I'm like, how am I supposed to get that? Like, how am I supposed to get that up there? And like he'll put things in the cabinets in the kitchen. He'll put things up, like he'll put like my big water jug that I take to work, he'll put it on the top shelf because it's the tallest space and it's a big jug. And then I'll be like, hey, honey, I need you to come get my water bottle for me. You put it up too high. Where am I supposed to put it? I don't know. Just put it on the counter. I'm going to take it to work the next work day. Just don't put it away. So, you know, our cabinets are pretty full. So I don't know that there would be enough room for me to put it on the side anywhere. Yeah. See, I use everything in our kitchen. Like, feeding people is my love language, so I need access to everything in the kitchen. He does, like, my husband does use, like, specific teacups and tea saucers that I don't use, and so all of that stuff is up on a higher shelf. But literally everything else I need access to. So... yes. I love food. I don't have hypoglycemia, but through years and years, oh my God, of trying to figure out my migraines and all of that, my doctor and my neurologist and my rheumatologist and I have finally all come to the conclusion that I have to have protein consistently through the day. I have multiple triggers, but if I don't have protein, I am really easily susceptible to a trigger, any of the triggers. Yeah, mine too. See, look at this big lady here. Yeah, I'm a big lady. But that's another interesting thing. So I've learned that I have to have protein through the day to keep my migraines at bay, but I don't have to have calories, which I used, like, all the protein I used to eat was more like higher calorie foods. But, you know, through my doctor and all the blood draws, like, literal years of working on this, my doctor is also my mom's doctor, and she has also met my father, and she's just like, yeah, you are one of those people whose genetics are impacting you. Like, I was unhealthily skinny when I was younger, all the way up until around, I'd say 24, 25 years old. I was like super, super thin. And I always thought I was fat, of course, because all little girls think they're fat. But I was super, super skinny. And both of my parents were very skinny when they were younger. And then, you know, in their 30s, they started to get bigger. And, like, my doctor is absolutely convinced that for me, it's genetics. Like, I went plant-based last summer, and we went 6 months on plant-based everything. And even then I didn't lose weight. And she's like, well, we might go the medication route. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to do the medication route, because I've heard some of the horror stories. Like, there are people who are having great success on it, but I don't want to end up with something like gastroparesis or one of the other things. Like, I've seen people whose mental health has absolutely tanked, and I'm like, just when I'm getting to a good place, I think I'd rather be fat. Okay, so Tesha, you have migraines too. I mean, I cannot tell you what to do with your life or anything, but I will tell you, once I got to a neurologist, and really started, like, I mean, I did journaling forever, because I knew that migraines can be triggered by things, and I have a visual aura for mine, so I knew that I was being triggered somehow. I journaled for months, and my neurologist finally, oh, have a good night, Christian. I will go live here more. I'm going to try and do better with that too. But my neurologist, like, looking at my journaling and talking about, like, when my migraines first hit and all kinds of stuff, she determined that I am a multi-trigger migraine sufferer. And so looking at my journaling, we've kind of narrowed down what my most common triggers are. And so things like dehydration, lack of protein, artificial sweeteners, specifically aspartame and sucralose. Those are those are the really, really bad ones for me. So I think dehydration, lack of protein, artificial sweeteners, fragrances are another one. Standard birth control, like birth control pills. All of those trigger migraines for me. And I have to have 2 or more triggers in place. Oh, and sunlight. Sunlight's a trigger for me, which really sucks. And extreme heat. I have to have 2 triggers in place in order for a migraine to really happen. I'm a teacher, so I'm dehydrated 100% of the time. And all it takes is just one other trigger. But now I also have breakthrough medication, which actually works. I spent a couple of years trying out all kinds of other things. You've never seen a neurologist, okay? Okay. Knowing your triggers is good going in. Having a journal of like what you've eaten and had to drink is also helpful, because sometimes that can help them figure out if there's a dietary trigger. Like for me, if I don't have enough protein, it's a migraine day. And it took me months of journaling to figure that out, because I was looking for one trigger, and my neurologist was like, so you've got all these different factors. And she said, but you're a teacher. And I said, yeah. And she said, how's your hydration level? And I was like, I'm a teacher. I don't have bathroom breaks. You know, we're always dehydrated. And she said, I think you're a dual trigger migraine sufferer. And so when I started to look at that, I was like, oh my God, yes, 2 triggers. So, and like when I'm super hydrated, I do great. It's so awesome. I love the human body. Total mind fuck. Right? It's the best thing ever. Totally screwing with us every step of the way. Honestly though, now that I've gotten it under control and I feel like I'm in a good place with my job and just in general, I feel like I should go knock on wood, or I'm gonna knock on some wood there, but like I feel like I'm finally starting to get into a groove in life in general. My kids are getting into activities, and I'm enjoying taking them to them, and I'm not completely exhausted all the time. And I've got supplements that I'm taking. I have had 2 normal blood draws in a row for the first time in my life. My last 2 doctor's appointments. Me and my doctor had a little celebration with that. And I think it's because I take super greens. So, or microgreens, whatever they're called, the powder you mix in water. It really is. And I hope you find your groove. Like, honestly, I feel like finding those triggers really helps, you know? Okay, so yeah, I take vitamin D. I'm chronically deficient in vitamin D. I am seeing recently that I guess, how did somebody describe it? If vitamin D is the car, vitamin K is the road. And without the road, the car can't get into the garage or something like that. So if you continue to struggle with low vitamin D, vitamin K can be added, and I guess that really helps. I will tell you, microgreens have been a godsend for me. I was taking, I think I counted 13 pills a night. Like, I literally would have a full glass of water. I'd bring it in here. I'd dump all my pills out, and I would just 2 or 3 at a time, just drink 2, 3, drink 2, 3, drink. I am now down to my tart cherry, my migraine prevention, because I take a daily migraine prevention, and then I've got the breakthrough for breakthrough migraines, and then I've got what am I missing? I know I'm missing something. I've got my tart cherry, my migraine prevention, turmeric, and vitamin D. So I'm down to 4, and I was up at 13 things every single day. The microgreens, and I'll just say it, like, I don't care. I take Kiala greens every single day. I know there's like some big competition between Kiala and Bloom. I've never tried Bloom. I tried Kiala because it was on like a legitimate sale. I'm never going back. Every single morning I start with Kiala and coffee. I use Javi coffee most of the time because I really love it. So. Oop. I fell into the demotion zone on Duolingo. I need to go practice. Yeah. All the different meds that can get that can bog you down mentally when you're just like, oh my God, I'm taking all these pills. Why can't I just like eat something that, helps? Oh my gosh, Becky, headaches every day. I'm currently learning Spanish. I teach in a school where it's like 30% of our student body has Spanish as their first language. And I wanted to be able to relate to them better. There was also a year that I taught 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. So it was like after the pandemic. We had students who were coming to us who had been in the country for too long to receive the immersion program through our district, but they hadn't been in an immersion program because of the pandemic and then virtual learning. And so we had these kids that fell into a gap where they were sent to us and they didn't know any English. And like I had a student, I remember, she was so quiet, and every time I tried to help her, she would just be like, she and I were using Google Translate to talk to each other. And I just remember feeling so powerless. And there were 3 kids that year that me and some other teachers had to advocate for. Like, we had to fight. And it took an entire semester before they finally were like, okay, we're going to make an exception because obviously this is impacting more than one kid. I'm like, yes, this is impacting a lot of them. The, immersion program was not in our building, so they had to be transferred in the from our building to another, and that was not something they would normally do. And we're like, this is necessary. Like, you do not understand, these kids don't have any English. But now I'm just like, I want to learn Spanish so that I can relate to kids, but also as I've been getting better this year, I have one class where I don't know, close to half of the students in there speak Spanish. And so they'll speak colloquially to each other. And I've always known enough to know, if they're cussing, but if they're not, calling each other really inappropriate things, I don't care what they're really saying as long as they're not being disruptive. But now that I'm learning, I'm starting to notice, there was one day a kid was kind of poking fun at a new-ish student because he didn't know how to type fractions into the type of calculator that we have. And so he was kind of making a joke to their buddy across the room. And I didn't catch every single word, but the gist of what he said was, bro, this boy needs help right now. He doesn't even know what buttons to push. And I know that they were joking. It was supposed to be a joke. But, it was really cool. It felt really nice that I was able to respond and be like, you got to remember, he's only been with us for a couple of weeks. Like, we don't know what calculators he had at his last school. So, like, you could show him instead of teasing him. And he's like, oh, okay, okay. And, like, some of the other kids are like, you can understand them? And I'm like, not everything. Not everything. I am far from fluent. But it's really, like, I love it. And hearing my students talk to each other in a language that they're more comfortable with, knowing that I'm not sitting there going, what are they saying? What are they talking about? Like, I am not the teacher to be upset about it. But one of these days, I will be fluent. I'm determined. I love learning for them. I think it sets the best example for the students, because if their teacher is willing to learn from them, because I'll ask them, like, hey, I need you to tell me a word in Spanish. Like, how would you say this? I asked them several weeks ago how to say be patient, because I needed to say that to somebody else. And they loved getting to teach me those things. And I'm like, yeah, I'll learn from you. You want to learn from me too? I would love to be a polyglot. I don't think I would do 15 languages, but like on my Duolingo, my focus is on Spanish. I am semi-conversational in sign language. That was just of my own volition. I took German in high school, so I have German back in my Duolingo. I have Arabic in my Duolingo, and I have Chinese in my Duolingo, which nobody has had the answer to this, but I wish I knew if I had always been taught that the language was called Mandarin, but in Duolingo they call it Chinese. And so I'm like, are these two different languages? Is it dialectical? Is it okay? See, when you're offered that language in college or even high school, it's called Mandarin. So I'm wondering why Duolingo calls it Chinese. Right. I feel like, isn't it considered culturally insensitive to call Mandarin Chinese? Like, I don't know, but I don't know. Something about it just kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, I guess. Maybe I made up the fact that it might be culturally insensitive. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I know there are several different languages in that area. God, have you seen the videos of the guy? Of course, I'm not going to remember his name now, but he's like a master of languages. Like, he can learn almost any language, and his diction is perfect. And he will go all over the world, and he's just like this simple white guy, and he'll go into a store in another country, and he'll go to a restaurant, for example, and order in their language perfectly. And always the people who are working there are like shocked, like, what? How do you speak so well? Like, he went to a place where it was like a tiny village where they had their own dialect. But I mean, like, he's gone all over the world, and he makes videos of himself speaking the native language to people who would never expect it from him. And then they, strike up a conversation, and then he posts videos of these conversations that he has with people. And I'm like, I don't know how he does it. I wish I could do it. I so wish I could. I wish I could pick up languages easily, but God, it is not easy for me. Right now in Duolingo, I am working on talking about feelings and emotions. He is gifted, 100%. Like, I'll be sitting in my lessons and let's see, conmigo versus contigo. And then it took me like 3 or 4 lessons before I could finally separate bored and angry, which they're not even similar words. It's aburrido and enojada. But I'm like, I get so stuck with these little pieces of it, and or like expensive and car. One has one R, the other has two R's. C-A-R-O and C-A-R-R-O. And so then, like, I would learn one, and then several lessons down the road, I learned the other, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I already have this? Wasn't that? And then they started using them together, and I'm like, oh, crap. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get suitcase and ticket straight. They're not even remotely close, maleta and boleto. They just have the let in the middle, but they don't start or end the same. But yeah, I cannot pick stuff up like that. It's interesting for sure. But yeah, I'm friendly or semi-conversational in like 4 languages now, but I really want to learn Spanish. I want to be fluent. I struggle with the R thing. What I'm learning though is when I am speaking Spanish, when I'm practicing the speaking part, I don't move my jaw. I keep my jaw really, really, really still. So like my normal talking is like this, but when I speak in Spanish, I'm going to keep my jaw like almost totally still. And my pronunciations come out better when I'm not moving my mouth. Oh, Ben, that's awesome. The arts are essential. I wish we could revamp our school system to be just centralized around the arts. Be wonderful. Yeah, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, Jaden, but like, illiteracy is a really big issue. Like, and I don't mean just like, I mean all levels. Like where we struggle with spelling, where we struggle with definitions, where we struggle with vocabulary. There's so much that kids struggle with today. It makes me sad, you know? I wish I could draw too. I can draw a mean stick figure. I can do that little trampoline guy on the hand. You know, I can do that. That's about the extent of my drawing skills. But the art teacher for my school that I work at actually lives down the street from me. Like, we lived down the street from each other for like, I don't know, a couple of months before we found out about it. Like, she took her kids trick-or-treating and they came to my door and they were like, oh my God, look, it's you. And I was like, yeah, hi, where are you? So, but yeah, art teachers are like the best. I never took art because no, my sister is a pretty decent artist and so is my mom, but that's about it. Oh Lord, a self-portrait would not look like a person. It would not look like a person. Oh, Lordy. I'm so sorry. I'm starting to get tired. You know what's interesting? That sounds like, I mean, any kid I think would take that as an insult, but I feel like art teachers notice things like that because they're unique, and those unique traits are really, really cool to bring out in a portrait. Like my nose, for example, like this part is actually really, really skinny, but when I start turning, it looks really bulbous because the bone that's like right here pops out just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, like I feel like all kids would take that in a negative way. Like you're gonna internalize it whether you realize what it's for or not, but it's probably more for like, you know, hey, this is something to accentuate, be proud of. I don't know. Oh, my thing. I have little baby ears. Like, comes down to there on my finger. And I have little hands too. Like, my hands against my husband's, my fingers come up to about there on his hands. That's one thing about me. I've got little baby features. My almost 5-year-old's ears are the same size as mine. So that's fun. Caricatures. I had a caricature drawn of me once when I was a kid, actually, and they made my ears like teeny tiny, and I didn't get it until many years later. Yeah, I mean, like, when you're in an art class and things like that come up, yeah, you just internalize it. Oh, Dumbo ear. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Like, isn't it like your ears and your nose never stop growing? So, like, the older you get, the bigger they get. Like, I have baby ears now, so maybe when I'm, like, 80 years old, they'll look like most other people's, and everyone will be like, oh, you have such nice ears. Hi, J. Couture. I'm actually thinking about jumping off of here. Because I'm a mom and a teacher, so I'm tired. Sorry. I don't stay up late. I go to bed. But it was fun chit-chatting. Hopefully I can do this more often and we can get more people in here. Am I skipping grading? No, I have work-life balance. I'm glad you guys had fun. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do this more. I mean, I obviously can't do it all the time. Oh, cool, you're from TikTok. Thank you. Obviously I can't do this all the time, especially right now. It is planting season and my garden is being invaded. I will tell you one last story before I jump off. I went out to water all of my plants that I've planted. I put out a whole bunch of corn and squash seeds. Sunday? No. Monday? Nope. Surely it wasn't. I don't know what day it was. Put a bunch of them out there. I went out to water them today, and like 4 or 5 of the holes had been totally dug up. Fucking critters. So I had to do the whole like red pepper flakes, and I put the wolf pee out everywhere. I was like, get the fuck away. Yeah. We have all kinds of critters around here. I'm just hoping that something takes. I bought more than enough plants. I bought too many plants. Way too many. But if even half of them take and become fruitful, I will have enough food for my family for months. So. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. You plant a small garden for the critters at the edge of your property. Farmer's truck. Unfortunately, we have critters that literally live like all over our yard. Like we have, depending on the time of year, we have raccoons or possums that live under our deck. Squirrels are rampant everywhere. There's foxes that live back behind our property. There's rabbits. Like, there's so many things. And our fence is currently not there. Due to a lot of circumstances. We'll get it back up eventually, but we're trying. Yeah, we had a fox couple in the late fall, I would say. The female fox was pregnant, we're pretty sure. we thought they were going to be denning in the brush pile that we have back there from cutting down our tree last summer. But we haven't really seen them this spring. So yeah, there's a video of them on my TikTok somewhere, but I wouldn't even know how far back to scroll or what the thumbnail would look like at this point. So Ben, I'm going to look into that. I want it, need it now. I'm gonna look into that. I knew that there were things you could put like inside your house, but like working for an entire yard, that would be amazing. I'm gonna look into it. Okay, I've got to jump off here. I can tell I'm gonna yawn again. But it was really, really cool doing this live. We will do these. I'm going to do these more. I promise. Because I'm finally in a place where I feel like I can. So we will do these more. Yeah. If you're not following me over on TikTok, you should go follow me on TikTok for my skits. And thank you for being here. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Let's see if I can figure out how to get out of here. Ah, there we are. Have a good night.